Hi guys, we're in central London now at Startup Weekend. Those guys help you to transform your idea into real business in just 54 hours. Let's see how they're doing it. Let's assume you have a great business idea or working prototype already, but you don't know how to take your business to the next level. So Accelerator program might be a great option for you. And now I'm introducing you to Jessica Williamson, who knows everything about accelerators. So hi Jess,
Hi.
It's great to have you here today. Can you please tell me a bit more about yourself, what you're doing at TechStars and what is TechStars all about?
Sure, so I'm based here in London. I've been working on accelerator programs for nearly 7 years now. Initially working with a guy, John Bradford, setting up Springboard Accelerator, based in Cambridge and London, and then with TechStars the last 4.5 years. So TechStars is a worldwide network that helps entrepreneurs succeed. We run accelerator programs, we have a venture capital fund, we also do community programs like Startup Weekend, where we are now, Startup Week, Startup Digest.
So can you tell me now a bit more about TechStars Accelerator program?
Sure, so the program itself, it's mentor driven. It's 3 months long, and each accelerator, we tend to get about 80 to 100 mentors involved. Each of the 3 months is broken down to have a different focus. Typically there's 10 startups on average that we pick for each program. The first month is all around mentorship and building the connections, getting the startups feedback. Everybody's refining like their product, their proposition, their business model, their go-to-market strategy. Month 2 is really about execution, build, close deals, make sales, just work on moving the business forward as fast as possible in that area. And then month 3 is typically around fundraising strategy and storytelling. So helping everybody be able to tell the story of their company and position themselves to raise money from the best investors, hire the best employees, close the best partnerships, and then be able to just, typically people say they've accomplished 1 or 2 years worth of progress in just 3 months. That's why we call it an accelerator, and it's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's great. So you're basically helping startups to avoid 2-3 years of learning experience and do it all intensively in 2-3 months. That's great. So what startups get by joining the accelerator? What's the deal?
Sure, so it's a mix of some of the obvious, there's funding. So for TechStars programs, it's up to $120,000. Then the reason people typically come is not the funding, but for access to the network. So the mentors, the conversations, building those relationships, getting the feedback, getting the mentors to open doors and make introductions for everyone. And then the startups are moving to our location for those 3 months, so they'll join us in our office wherever that might be. And there's as well tons of different perks and freebies offered from partners and sponsors, usually in excess of like $1 million worth of perks that startups can get access to, whether it's around hosting or analytics or other technologies that they'd be using to build their companies.
So biggest advantage, they get funding, working space and professional mentorship from professional. But what startups have to give away, for example, equity or pay some kind of a fee to join the program?
For us, it's purely equity. So we'll take 6% equity in each of the startups. And that's so that we're like incentivized and motivated to do whatever we can for the rest of that startup's journey. So as they become alumni companies, they're still a really important part of our network, and we'll still be focused on helping make introductions, helping them hire, helping them build, later on helping them get acquired if that's what they're aiming for. But we're motivated to be with them throughout the rest of their journey.
So hi guys, I'm at Startup Weekend now and I'm introducing you to Filipos, the global facilitator at TechStars. So tell us a bit more about yourself and your role at TechStars and Startup Weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Filipos. I'm originally from Athens, Greece, but now living in London. And what I do is I'm a product designer, but I'm also a global facilitator at TechStars, which means that basically on my free time, I fly over to many of the local communities and help them by empowering entrepreneurs and motivating them into starting something of their own.
How many cities Startup Weekend operating in?
So Startup Weekend actually operates all over the world, and we have over 630 cities globally. And what's very interesting is that at this right moment, there's a special edition of Startup Weekend happening globally. It's called TechStars Global Startup Weekend, and in this special edition, there's all the different cities and countries in the world are hosting events right at the same time. So actually, as we're speaking, there's another 76 events happening globally at the same time. And the same thing is going to happen next weekend. So this is a very nice time to kind of ask this question. Yeah.
So it's a great number. So you mean 75 cities at this moment
At this exact
also
moment.
running Startup Weekend?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
great.
What's really important, I think, when it comes to building a business is, I think it first comes down to people and the community itself, and it also comes down to motivation. So I think, anyone can just start and find the right skills, the right resources to learn about finance and business and legal. But what's really hard is to find the right people and the right team to motivate you and to follow you in your dream. So I think when you want to start your own business, the first step is to find out the right co-founder, the right partners, the right team. So this is why events like this give you some great access to a really nice network, to meet amazing people and to find someone to kind of build something together. And then the other thing is, of course, motivation. It's very hard to get motivation sometimes on your own. So when you engage with a lot of different people, and when you engage with a global community like Startup Weekend, and you see how big this is, and you're part of something so much bigger, and people all over the world trying to make something of their own, you really get this motivation and excitement to just, take a step back and then start building something of your own and make it grow.
At which stage you think entrepreneurs should apply for TechStars Accelerator? I mean, idea stage, prototype stage, or trading companies?
It's funny because when people come as mentors, for example, they're often surprised that the startups are at different stages in their journey. It's not all exactly the same. On average, companies would have a prototype or some sort of minimum viable product.
So does it mean that for TechStars the team is a crucial factor?
We often say there's 6 criteria in the selection process. Team. You've seen this.
Okay.
Market, traction, product. And what we're trying to say and what we know as investors is that, the quality of the team and their demonstrated ability to execute and the dynamics of those team members is ultimately the most important, because the product is going to change as they learn. So of course we look for signs of there being traction, and of course we want to make sure they're in a market that's big enough for them to be successful and that's compelling enough for them to take on. But ultimately the team isn't going to change. So they're the ones that have to be able to learn and adapt and make changes in the other parts of the business.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can entrepreneurs apply for TechStars Accelerator if they are based in different city or country?
Yes. So all of our programs are global. All of our accelerator programs, whether they're in Los Angeles, New York, Kansas City, London, Berlin, Australia, we have Adelaide now. All of our programs are open to startups from around the world.
Can you give any tip or advice for people who decided to apply for TechStars Accelerator, how they should apply? Maybe some special tactic?
Sure, so it's funny, when we're looking at applications, we're really not trying to ask anything tricky. It's not a quiz. We're just trying to understand people and understand what makes them tick, why they're building the business they're building, why they're working with the people they're working on. So help us see the business through their eyes. It's really helpful. I'd say don't undersell themselves.
Okay.
Sometimes founders are so focused on showing off the business and the problem and the solution and the market, but they don't tell us enough about themselves as people, and they overlook the questions about why they are working with each other or how they met their co-founders. And those are questions we really genuinely care about, understanding them as human beings,
Okay.
not just talk about your business and your metrics and your traction.
Okay. I can see by you that you like all this startup environment, all this buzz, motivation of people, yes?
Yes, for sure. Otherwise, I would have left a long time ago.
Okay, understand. But how do you find it to travel all over the world and to take care of these startups? Isn't it tiring for you as for individual?
It's a challenge, I'm not
Challenge.
gonna lie. I'm really lucky, I'm great at sleeping on planes. I think I got that from my dad, and that is an amazing skill. I'm probably away about 50 to 70% of the time.
It's a lot.
So I'm still figuring it out. To be honest, I definitely thrive on everybody's energy around me and the satisfaction of seeing things get created and get built and get launched for the first time. I know this lifestyle is not sustainable forever, but I'm gonna enjoy it and have this special experience now while I can.
I hope you learned a lot about accelerators and TechStars in particular. So if you feel free and ready, go to apply.techstars and try yourself. And if you get refused, don't get sad. There are hundreds of different accelerators outside.